My name is Emma Alexander, and this is a video for a video assignment for a class I'm taking at Athens State University called Mindful Leadership. And this is a short review on Chapter 15 from the textbook, Finding the Space to Lead by Janice Marturano. Chapter 15 is titled Reaching Your Potential to Lead. She starts the chapter with a quote from Anne Frank that says, "Everyone has inside of him a piece of good news. The good news is that you don't know how great you can be, how much you can love, what you can accomplish, and what your potential is." This is a very inspirational thought, so I encourage you to keep training your mind to become more so you can reach your full potential as a leader and as a person. Regular meditation and purposeful pauses are things that we can do to help train our mind so that we could reach this potential. And this may take some people longer than others, but after we accomplish this, the next step is to explore how we can make better choices. And after doing this, we can make wiser choices than we have in the past. I can say that being more mindful has helped me in this way, stopping to understand and realize what really matters and not letting things I can't control consume me. I know that I'm a long way from completely training my mind, but I've already saw over the past couple of years that a change in mindset has helped me mentally and physically. Alana Moats wrote an article from Forbes magazine titled, "To Unleash Your Full Potential, Do These 3 Things." Train your brain to learn new things by embracing uncomfortable situations was the first one. We are all put in uncomfortable situations at times. Maybe we're asked to speak in front of our peers at a meeting. No matter how many times I do this, it still bothers me to have to get up in front of people and make a speech or a talk. Or maybe handling a student is intimidating to us if they are having behavior problems in our class. You can meditate on these things, prepare yourself beforehand, try to realize that, the people you're speaking in front of are just people too. They're just your peers you talk to every day. They're just normal people. And try to handle situations in class maybe before they get out of control so that you don't get so upset, your temper don't get out of hand. Think of some things that you can do ahead of time so you're prepared to handle those situations. But meditate on these and come up with some things that'll help you beforehand. Number 2, don't believe what people say you can't do. Nobody knows your limits. You don't even know your limits yourself, because there are no limits if you're training your mind to reach your full potential. There's always critics, always people who will be jealous of you, trying to bring you down if you're trying to do more for yourself. There's always those type of people. But some people think it's bad to encourage someone to excel if they think they're not capable of it. But I'm going to ask you, who determines our capabilities? We don't even know all of our capabilities until we work and try. And a lot of times we excel in things that we didn't think we were ever capable of doing, so we limit ourselves. And I have seen this with my own child. He's even had doctors tell him and tell me that he can't do this or can't do that. He's a special needs child, and yes, he does have some limitations. But if you would watch him, you can see that he doesn't see that. He doesn't believe that. He is starting to sort of have an idea of some things, but who am I to tell him what he can and cannot do physically or even mentally? Because he has proved us wrong so many times and excelled so many times in things that he was told he couldn't do. So I believe anybody has the potential to do anything and be anything they want. Like I said, I've seen it firsthand with my own child, and I would never be the first to tell anybody that they couldn't do something. And don't ever let anybody else tell you that as well. The third thing is set small goals to achieve big results. Should we be realistic? Yes, of course. We can't set a goal of being the president without going through some smaller goals to get there. Do we wake up and want to be a CEO of a company and expect that to happen? No. We have to start at the bottom and work our way up. Just because it appears to be at the bottom doesn't mean it's not a goal. Every step we take in life is a goal. Whether it's a goal leading to our ultimate goal is the question. But as long as we set goals and work to achieve them, the sky's the limit on what we can do and where we can go. The author of the text talks about the effect of presence in our world. Leadership presence in our world, But what is leadership presence? Well, the author defines leadership presence as each person's capacity to be fully present. We feel it and others feel it. A leader who embodies leadership presence is non-judgmental, open-minded, open-hearted, self-aware, patient, humble, trusting, collaborative, and compassionate. And I want us to look at a few of these just for a few minutes and see how they can apply to yourself. I want you to think about these yourselves and how these apply to you. And do you have these traits in you? Is this present in you? When I look at some of these, I can see that I need work in several of these areas. First of all, it's judgmental. It's hard not to be judgmental of certain people and situations. A lot of times we stereotype things, stereotype situations and certain types of people. We choose not to think what they are telling us or feeling is as important. And really, that's not our place to determine if what they're feeling is actually important or is real, because it's real to them. And so we shouldn't be so judgmental and be more open-minded. And that was the next one. You have to be more open-minded. Sometimes we all get ideas in our mind and we don't want to listen to the opinions of others, but this shouldn't be the attitude of a leader. We should always be eager to listen. The next one is being open-hearted, and to me this is a hard one for most people. Are we willing to let other people see that we are human and that we do have emotions? Can we comfortably share these emotions with others? Do we feel that it's a sign of weakness? I believe that this is one of the hardest for most of us to embody, because we think when we show those human emotions that it makes us look weak. Next, self-aware. Always listen to your instincts and don't ignore that inner voice when you're making important decisions. Have patience. Be humble. And never put yourself above or even below others. Learn to trust, be collaborative, and most importantly, compassionate. Compassion will be the trait that saves you when you fall short of these other areas. If you make decisions based on compassion, you will make fewer mistakes. And I'm not saying that you give in and don't ever say no, or that you don't ever discipline, but compassion means that you make choices with the well-being of others in mind. It's not always the easy decision, but the right decision. And the author ends the text, or the chapter in the book, with the term the ripple effect. And I have found a video. This is a really good video. It's a 16-minute video that I will play at the end of this assignment and let you watch it. But the example Michael Phillips used in this video to describe the ripple effect was a very good one, I thought. He says, excellence in leadership can be like the ripple effect. Once something hits the water, you begin to see all these ripples spreading out from it. And when you embody a leadership presence and make choices, these have the potential to create the ripple. And that improves others, and you never know how far that ripple will travel. So, like the water, you just start seeing all these ripples and that come out from something hitting the water. That's how far the effect could be of you. When people see that presence in you, you never know how far that it will go out from you, and other people will see it, and it'll influence them to have more of to be inspired to want to be a leader as well. The world needs mindful leaders, and I plan to work on having this leadership presence myself, so I hope you will join me in doing that. Now I will go back and I will let you watch this video to end the presentation.
Get ready. Today I'm going to be talking about the leadership ripple effect right now on the front. Hello everyone. Welcome this afternoon to another episode of The Front, number 13. My name is Mike Phillips. I will be your host, and this afternoon I am going to be talking about the leadership ripple effect. Yes, that's something I came up with. I got to get that up on my screen. The leadership ripple effect. So, what that is, well, first off, let me get through the introduction. So, I am your host. My name is Mike Phillips. You can, as always, please subscribe to my live feed, subscribe to my YouTube channel, subscribe to my podcast. I'm all over the place trying to put out audio and video content. So you can participate in the discussion down below here, as sometimes that leads to a really excellent future show. So for everybody tuning in today, thank you so much for joining me for this 13th episode of The Front with me, Mike Phillips. So today's episode is going to be on the leadership ripple effect. And what that is, if you've ever looked at a lake or a pond and you take and you throw that little pebble or you throw that stone into it and you get that ripple that goes out and out and out and out. And as I was thinking about my subject matter for today, I thought, man, leadership is kind of the same way because you affect your people. If you're that stone that you throw in there into the water to get the effect, or you throw into business to get the effect, then those things that you do as a manager, as a leader, as an impactful person, because you don't have to have a leadership title to make an impact on other people. You don't have to have a leadership title to be a leader from within your organization. And so if you are a leader, if you're tuning into this and listening, understand you're that person that's that pinpoint that gets dropped into the lake, and there's ripples that travel out from the center, that travel out from you, and those are going to carry a lot of weight. And what I mean by that is you've got to understand, and you have to pay close attention to the people that are around you. You have to pay close attention to your staff, to your peers, to the people that you're working both alongside, that work for you, that work above you, right? And the reason for that is because that ripple and it gets larger and larger and larger as it goes out. Think about this, and so here's kind of an analogy that I wanted to talk about as I'm talking about the ripple effect of leadership. If you are somebody in a management position, in a leadership position in a company, and you get a cold and you have to call in sick, inevitably, in most cases, what happens is then you call in sick with a cold. Within the coming days or weeks, your staff, those people that are working either alongside you, your peers working for you, all of a sudden they get pneumonia, because it's almost like it's the okay to go ahead and, well, hey, and I'll use myself as an example, if it's okay for Mike to call in sick because he's got the sniffles or he's got a cold, then it must be okay for me to do the same thing. And so that ripples out through the organization. It's the same thing with negativity, right? If somebody at the center, at a central point in an organization and business gets really crummy or crappy or negative, then that negativity spreads like a cancer. It spreads from one person to one person to one person, and it gets amplified each time. And when you think about it, it's just like playing a game of telephone when we were kids, right? It starts out potentially